Ask any crazy guinea pig person about their herd, you'll probably be hit with an in-depth description of names, piggy characters, herd relationships, personality quirks, and of course, hairstyles. Chances are you won't know what's just happened. You'll walk away confused and thinking, wow, they really love those rodents. And why shouldn't we? Our guinea pigs are our precious pets. They may be small, but they show us so much love, and they rely on us completely to be their devoted owner. And when it's time to say goodbye to one of our beloved fur babies, when we're left without our special friend, we miss them so much, and we wish it was possible for them to return. Nothing made me prouder than letting people know that I had adopted Pedro. That yes, he was a boy, but don't worry, he was neutered, and rarely tried anything with his ladies anyway. He's a gentleman, you know. And yes, we kept the name the rescue gave him. I mean, it just suited him so well. Pedro, however you might pronounce it, means rock. And he was a rock that we could always rely on to bring smiles and happiness. I often spoke about how he was the most confident, most loving, most friendly guinea pig ever. How he would follow us around the living room, stand on our feet to beg for treats, greet us every time we ventured into the piggy room, and fall asleep on us, content as could be in sweet piggy dreamland. And don't even get me onto his hair. Pedro was a Peruvian with lush brown and white locks and a fringe, or should I say bangs, to be envied. How anyone could have abandoned him in a cardboard box in a car park, I'll never understand. But they did. The world is cruel. But the flip side is that we got to adopt him and look after this beautiful boy for the last 1 year and 9 months of his life. And what a wonderful time that was. That day we brought him home, he pottered around the living room without a care in the world, checking out his new surroundings and thinking, yep, I like it here. And then he really got the rug pulled out from under him when he met his new companions, 3 lovely ladies. Things were a bit rocky in the very beginning, but we muddled through and Pedro found his place in the herd. Let's face it, he wasn't a very good pacifier. In fact, he did anything at all to avoid drama, but he formed his own special relationships with each of his cage mates. Lyra was already 6 years old when she met Pedro, and Pedro saw in her a kind, gentle soul, one who wasn't always keen on sharing her personal space, but when she did, she made the best snuggle buddy ever. Pedro always treated Lyra with the ultimate respect, and I was truly grateful for that. Phoebe and Roxy were a bit of a bigger challenge for Pedro. They would be bossy with him, he would take their jabs and not once get annoyed or retaliate. Instead, he taught them to be kind, to relax, and to be adventurous. One of our favourite things was watching Pedro lead his ladies around the living room, encouraging them to follow, as if to say, see, it's okay out here really. That morning, on the 28th of December, as we cuddled Pedro on the sofa for one last time and made him feel as loved as we possibly could, the girls did not move once from their chosen spot underneath the hammock in the corner of the room. They stayed still for hours. I felt they shared our grief, and I know on some level they could sense something wasn't right. Our sweet Callie only got to live with Pedro for 3 short months, but that didn't matter. It was long enough for him to teach her his ways. Now Callie is our cuddliest piggy. She will yawn and stretch out and feel safe with us. She's also a top explorer, having learnt from her big brother to be brave. Together with Phoebe, over the last week they have been conquering all areas of the living room, striding out confidently as if they were still following their friend, their guide, and their rock. But I know they miss you, and so do we. Although your time with us was relatively short, you left the deepest of paw prints on our hearts. We will always remember your friendly hellos, greeting us so eagerly, followed by the bestest of boops, that whilst you weren't keen on being picked up, you'd tolerate it for the treats and cuddles which followed. I'll remember all those times we snuggled up with you in your blanket before bed. How on Christmas Eve, just a few days before you left us, we all fell asleep together. I jumped with a start 5 minutes later, but of course you slept on, without a care or worry in the world. Dear Pedro, you knew so much love when you finally reached your forever home, and I hope you knew love before too. Part of me thinks you must have, to be the most amazing guinea pig which we knew you to be. And you gave love in return as well, so much that it filtered through the camera lens and reached the people who watched your videos and smiled at your photos from all around the world. They may not have known you in real life, but they will miss seeing your beautiful face just as much as we will. There are even some new Pedros out there, proudly sharing your name, and there are other boys too, lucky and loved in their forever homes, because you helped their owners decide to adopt. Perhaps you'll be watching on from over that rainbow bridge, reunited with Lyra in that lush green meadow where time stands still. It's easy to give in to sadness and emptiness when we lose a precious pet, to desperately cling to those happy memories and hope they never fade. I catch myself looking in the cage and expecting to see you there, lifting your head in a cheerful hello, just like you always did. Instead, I see our girls living on and having learnt from you to shine in their own special way. And you taught us humans too, to appreciate every single piggy out there. Some may not be as brave or as trustful and forgiving as you, but they have the potential to be, with time, patience and love. So please cuddle and kiss your piggies tonight. Don't take your time with them for granted, and never forget to tell them how much they are loved. Pedro, we love you and will always remember you. You were beyond special. If you're struggling with the loss of a pet, please share your grief, post about your fur baby in the comments, and please consider visiting the bereavement resources in the description. There is support out there for both adults and children, and it can make a meaningful difference. Before I go, here's some original clips with Pedro being his best self that made me smile. Hi guys, and welcome to November! I cannot believe it is November already. Can you, Pedro? I know! It's November! Already they are sniffing around me. Pedro is actually already begging. You have to work for this. Shall we give you a boost? Whee! Good boy. You've never really been that good at finding food, have you? But then, once you realise it's there, wow! Oh, hi! Hello? Hello? That wasn't very nice, was it? Pedro was in there. Hi, buddy. This is what Pedro does. He literally just comes and stands on your feet.